Good morning and welcome to week 2 of National Quilting Month. I'm Gina and you're here at Kingdom Sewing. Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to look at this week. So I've got some machines to show you, some fantastic quilting machines. We're going to have a little discussion about feet, some of the feet that you'll want to have if you're doing some quilting. I've got some information about some upcoming classes and events and some sale prices. So stick with me here for a little bit and we've got all kinds of good information for you. So what I'm going to start with today is we'd love to show you the Baby Lock Crescendo. This is one of my favorite machines to sew on. It's a fantastic quilting machine. It's got 11 1/4 inches of space here, nice big machine. Comes with the extension table and the knee lift, so you've got a lot of room to do your quilting. That's about an 18 by 24 extension table, so lots of space there. You can see we've got a nice big screen here to view our stitches and do our programming. We've got a lot of automatic buttons here. We've got an automatic presser foot up and down. We've got our automatic needle threader, automatic thread trimmer. So lots of great convenience features on this machine for you. Let me show you one of our little specialty features on this machine. This is our guide beam. And if you can see here, let me hold up my fabric so maybe you can see that little red light there. That beam we can set anywhere we want in here. I'm going to go ahead and move it over to my 1/4 inch mark here. So I can set this up. I've got my 1/4 inch foot on the machine, but this is really nice for when you're doing your 1/4 inch piecing. I can line my fabric up, put my foot down here, but my guide beam is here so I can start lining up my fabric right at the front before it gets anywhere near the foot. So that can be really handy. One of the other things that I love to use this beam for is doing half square triangles. So here I'm going to line up the beam at the corner points of my square here, and I'm going to stitch down. Now I told you I set that beam at a 1/4 inch over. I'm going to go ahead and push my start button here. And I'm going to keep that, oh, we got our automatic reverse on there. I'm going to keep that guide beam. You see I'm going to line it up right with the corner of my triangle or my square there. We'll stop. Now you'll see that my stitching didn't go right to the corner because I'm a 1/4 inch away. So then if we turn around this direction, and we're going to do the same thing again, I'm going to line up from my corner point and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch away. See, I have my automatic reverse programmed on there. Come down, keeping that guide beam lined up right at the point. Use my automatic trimmer there, and now you'll see I've got my stitching so that I can cut down the middle, and then I've got 2 half square triangles ready to go. So really handy because I don't have to do any marking to sew my half square triangles. I can use that beam. One of the other things I really love to use it for is when I'm sewing together my binding pieces. Now I've got 2 contrasting pieces of fabric here to hopefully make it a little easier for you to see. So I always offset my fabric just a little bit so I give myself some little V marks that I can follow. This time I'm going to move that beam over into the center so it's right in the middle in front of my needle. And now when I'm sewing together my binding pieces, again I'm going to line it up. I've created those little V notches by offsetting my fabric a little bit so I can put my foot down here. I'm not going to actually be using my 1/4 inch guide here. Let me back that up just a little bit. I'm just going to be using the mark here. And I'm going to keep that lined up right at the end here in that little notch I've created. So then I get that perfect miter for my binding strips. And there you can see we've got that nice mitered piece of binding. So this little feature is really handy can come in useful for all kinds of things that you might want to do, and we love that feature. This guide beam only is available on just a couple of the Baby Lock machines, but we love it on the Crescendo. This is our great quilting machine. We do have a special running on the Crescendo for this month. Our sale price is $1,500 off the MSRP, plus Baby Lock is offering a $400 rebate, so you'll be getting a Visa gift card for $400 there. We're throwing in, free with the purchase, the inspirational guide. This is a really nice book. It's got step-by-step with color photos, instructions for different techniques, as well as some of the basics of using the machine. So this is a really handy reference guide to get the most out of your machine, and we're giving that free with the book with the machine. Normally those books run $189, so that's really a great deal. Plus, we're also offering the Baby Lock 60-day trial to the video website. So on the website, they have all kinds of video lessons on the machines, on software, sergers, any kind of machine you want to look at, embroidery machines. They also have project classes, but they have a getting to know your Crescendo video, and they have videos specifically on using the sensor pen and the guide beam that come with the machine. So really great to be learning on at your own pace, on your own time. Most of us, I know I do, early in the morning or late at night, and when I'm not here to answer questions for you, you have someplace else to go. So wonderful deal on this Crescendo, one of our favorite machines. You'll notice that the Crescendo is sitting in this koala table. This is one of the koala sewing stations. This is a floor model that we have on sale right now for about half price. This floor model is $9.99. You can see it's a nice wide table. It's got a good bit of space behind the machine as well. These sides open up. I'm not going to lift it, I'll lose my feet there, but we have got storage underneath on the side as well as underneath in the back, so you can keep all of your sewing tools and notions handy right there with the machine. So Tim, let's kind of zoom in here. We'll take a look at some different feet that the ladies may want to be sure that they have for their quilting. So most of our quilting, or our piecing I should say, is done with 1/4 inch seaming. And so Baby Lock and Janome, which are the brands that we carry, have 1/4 inch feet for all of their machines. You'll see a couple of different varieties. The one that I had on the machine here had a guide on it. We have the 1/4 inch foot without the guide, if you like to just line up on the edge of the foot there. We also have that in a clear version. So if you're trying to start your seaming a 1/4 inch in from the edge and finish a 1/4 inch from the edge of the fabric, these clear feet are really helpful because you can see right behind the foot there. We also have a larger version, which is going to give you really good coverage over your feet, dogs, and help to give you better control of your fabric. This again is the version without the guide on the front, so if you like to just use the edge of the foot, you can do that. That's kind of handy when you're doing maybe some triangles or circles or things where you're not sewing just a straight line. Sometimes that guide can be a little bit of a hindrance when you're working on some uniquely shaped pieces of fabric. Here's the wider version with the guide on it. Now these feet, I don't know if you're able to see it there. Can I bring it over to the machine, Tim?
Sure.
So if you can see the white behind there, maybe that helps. This one has a wider opening, so it has a little bit of an oval shape, which allows you to move your needle over so that you can do a scant 1/4 inch. So really helpful for that. Janome has similar feet. This is one of the Janome 1/4 inch feet with the blade on the side, so it's got that nice guide to keep your fabric going where you want it. They also have a clear version. This one is called the Clear View Foot, and it comes with the removable guides. So right now I've got on here the 1/4 inch guide, which you can see on the front edge of the foot there. It also comes with a ditch guide, and this just screws on so that if you wanted to sew in the middle, you can add that guide, or you can take them off and just use the foot clear as it is. Both machine companies also do stitch in the ditch feet. So again, that's the guide that runs right in the middle of the foot there. That's going to help you sew right in the well of the seam. Keeps you on track there. If you're doing applique work, it's a really good idea to get an open toe foot. So you'll see this one, there's nothing in front of the needle here, so it gives you a nice clear view of where the needle's going to land as you're stitching. It also has a little bit of a groove or a tunnel under the bottom of the foot, and this is going to ride very well over your stitches when you're laying down a lot of thread. If you're doing a satin stitch or a blanket stitch, you tend to build up a little more thread, and the foot can kind of get hung up on that sometimes. So these open toe feet are really nice for that. Wanted to show you this. Baby Lock does also have a 6-piece quilting foot kit, and again, this is going to have some of those same feet. We've got our open toe foot, our 1/4 inch with the guide, free motion foot. This is a bias binding foot. We have a straight stitch foot, and this is a really nice stitch guide foot. So a lot of little marks here to help you line up with whatever you need to line up with. And these come with a little instruction sheet there to help you figure out which is going to be the best foot for you. So that's 1/4 inch feet. If you have any questions about that, we're always here to help you figure out what's going to be best for you and which is going to fit on your machine. So we're going to do a little bit of a equipment move here. Tim's moving some things around. We're going to slide on around here, and I'm going to show you a couple more of our favorite Baby Lock quilting machines. We've got the Baby Lock Lyric and the Baby Lock Soprano. I'll slide my chair on over here. So if you don't have the space for a big machine like the Crescendo, or that's just a little bit more than you think you can manage, we've got some nice smaller varieties here for you as well. So we'll talk about these. The Soprano here, you'll see it has the knee lift. It's got the nice extension table. Tim, are we getting a view of both machines?
Let me back out. Yes.
Alrighty, so you can see the extension table and the knee lift on this machine. Excuse me while I cut across the screen here for just a second, get ourselves all organized. So the Soprano again comes with this extension table, which is going to extend your sewing surface, gives you a lot of room for your stitching there, for your bigger quilt type projects. The knee lift is going to raise and lower the presser foot for you, if you can see that there. So that allows you to keep your hands on your fabric and not have to let go to raise and lower the presser foot in the back of the machine there. So one of the things that I really like about these machines is that they have what's called a lateral feed stitch. And what that means is the machine will actually sew sideways. So I've got my Lyric set up here to show you some of the lettering. Both machines have built-in lettering so that you can do your quilt labels if you like. A lot of us don't care for our handwriting, and so if we can stitch out our quilt labels, that's a nice option for us. So I'm going to go ahead and move this over just a little bit here. I don't have the foot control plugged in here, but we've got a stop and start button I can use, so we'll give that a little start here. And just to show you the lettering on this machine, now this has both uppercase and lowercase, and I don't know if you can see there, but the machine does walk a little bit sideways. So the maximum stitch width on this machine is 7 millimeters, but because it's moving the fabric sideways, our letters actually come out to be about 9 or 10 millimeters wide, which gives you a really nice size label. Or if you're wanting to, put labels on kids' clothes, or if you're wanting to stitch out holiday things, you can do, poems or sayings, or hem your napkins with a Merry Christmas. Why not? Alrighty, so we're just about done here with our lettering. We'll give this just a second. It automatically will stop for us. We'll touch our scissor button, cut our thread there. So you can see there we've got a nice good sized lettering. We getting a good shot of that, Tim? Tilt it up a little bit so we can see it.
Perfect.
So you can see it's really, really nice lettering on that machine there. And again, the Lyric does come with that same extension table and knee lift that you see on the Soprano. Now what the Soprano has, in addition that the Lyric does not have, is the advanced pivoting feature and the automatic fabric sensor system. So again, two great features that are going to help you perfect your quilting there. I left the Soprano here unthreaded because I just wanted to show you quickly. Tim, do you have a good view so I can go ahead and thread this for them?
Let me just zoom in a little.
Alrighty. So we're going to take our thread. Super simple to thread this machine. It's all numbered with arrows to keep you on track there. Oh, helps if I raise the presser foot, right? We're not supposed to thread our machine with the presser foot down. We're going to come around down to the needle. I'll try to keep my hand out of the way there. The last step is we're going to bring our thread across there. And then let me just show you, we push our lever here, and there's our needle threaded. We love that needle threader. Super simple. And let me show you one of the other things that you get with these machines with that lateral feed, that wide sideways stitching that we're talking about. The machines are programmed with some really wide quilting type stitches, and I like to use these for sewing small sashings or borders. Let me show you a little bit of this stitch. And again, you'll see how the machine actually walks sideways. And so these can look a lot like free motion stitching, but of course they're much more professional looking, more perfect looking, because they're programmed into the machine, and you don't have to do any of it. You just let the machine take care of it for you. So we'll go another couple more here, just so you can get a good idea of what this looks like. There are about 5 or 6 of these stitches built into the machines. And then even some of the fun decorative stitches, like the flowers and things, are a little bit wider than normal. So let me give this a cut, and then we'll take it out and take a look. Use my knee lift here. And there you can see nice wide decorative stitch there that you could use for your quilting. So awesome little machines here. I shouldn't say little. This is a nice full-size machine. About 8.5 inches of space in the middle there, so it can accommodate most projects. We have specials on these 2 machines as well. The Soprano we're offering at $700 off, and for this month, and the Lyric we are offering at $900 off the MSRP. So some fantastic deals on these machines, and again, these specials that we're talking about this month run all month long. And on that note, let me just remind you that all of our quilting notions and supplies and machine accessories are 15% off all month long. So any of these feet that we're talking about, if you need to invest in some feet, those are going to be on sale, as well as our quilting threads, our quilting gloves. Anything that says quilt on it is going to be on sale. So let me take a walk you down to the end here. Tim will take a look at these walking feet. So the last thing we want to talk about here, after you've done all your piecing and you're quilting your layers together, it's really important to have a walking foot. So what a walking foot does is, it's got these little feed teeth that are moving the fabric on top, and that kind of mimics what your feed dogs are doing underneath the fabric. So normally your presser foot can be pushing your fabric, which is why you'll find sometimes you get some slippage where your top layer may end up longer than the bottom layer. And so this is designed to take care of that. Some of them are called even feed feet or walking feet. So this is just the standard baby lock foot. They always have this little bar here that's going to go up on your needle screw, and that's what actually makes the feet walk up and down, if you can see that there. And so this is the baby lock foot. The Janome foot looks very similar. Again, we've got that bar that's going to go above your needle screw, and it's going to make those feet walk up and down and help keep your fabric moving evenly through the machine. So that's a standard walking foot. Some of the Janome machines have what's called an AccuFeed system, and this is the AccuFeed foot. So it looks a lot like the walking foot. It's got this piece that's going to move the teeth on top, but this is nice because it plugs into the machine, and so you're able to make even more adjustments with it. These also have different soles. This just comes off here. So this is the standard sole, and then you'll see here we've got, this is our 1/4 inch sole. It's got that blade, that little guide at 1/4 inch. We also have a stitch in the ditch sole that's got the blade in the center there to keep you sewing right in the well of the seam, and an open toe version. So if you'd like to do some applique work, you can do that with the AccuFeed as well. They also have a narrow version. This is really nice. Skinny foot, which is great for sewing on your bindings if you like to use your walking foot to sew on your bindings. So again, that's available on some of the Janome machines, not all of them. Then we have this one down here on the table. This is the foot that comes with the Crescendo. So this is the Baby Lock dual feed foot. And this one is a little different. It doesn't have the teeth on it. It has this belt. It's a belt. We kind of like to think of it as the tank. It's got this little belt that's going to pull your fabric on the top, and again, this one plugs into the machine so that it's adjustable, and if we find we're still getting some slipping or maybe it's pulling too much, we can adjust how much that's pulling. And again, this one, like the Janome, the sole comes off. This is our standard sole, and you can see on the table here I've got again the stitch in the ditch sole with the blade in the center. We've got the 1/4 inch sole with the blade over there at the 1/4 inch point, and also an open toe for those applique, or maybe you're doing some decorative stitching and you're more concerned about where you're positioning that stitching. You can see it right in the center there. I have one more in the back here. This is the Baby Lock Deluxe walking foot. This is a little bit more like your standard walking foot. I'm going to put it up on the table, Tim. So it's got the little arm here that goes over your needle screw, and it has this portion that moves up and down, but here we have rubber feet rather than the plastic. So this is a little bit weightier, more heavy duty foot. If you're doing big quilts, this is going to be better able to handle the weight of a lot of fabric on a bigger quilt. And that one also comes with, let me show you here in the box, we have an open toe sole as well as the stitch in the ditch sole. And then this little screw with the quilting bars can come on either side. So we have quilting guides that can go on either side of the foot if you're doing some channel stitching. So that's hopefully all you ever needed to know about walking feet. Again, if you have any questions, please come in and ask us. We'd be happy to help you figure out what's going to fit on your machine and work best for your project that you're working on. So let me wrap up this week by reminding you again that we have our specials and sales through the month. Also like to remind you to do some shopping on our website at kingdomsewing.com. I think the beginning of this week, Koala launched a refreshed line of sewing cabinetry. So you'll want to take a look there. We've got a Koala page on our website with all of the information about the new models and the new features. So we can get you a custom cabinet to work best for you in your sewing space and with the tools and equipment that you need. They have different storage options. So do take a look on our website. We're adding more products every day. We've got stabilizers and machine accessories and embroidery things. We're working on getting some more notions and things on the website for you. So check back periodically because, like I said, we're always adding new products to the website. A couple other points I want to make is that I am currently working on our next newsletter, which will cover April and May. And we've got some exciting things coming up. We just this week, yesterday, started with classes back in our learning center again. So we're doing some in-store lessons. We're keeping our classes at this point to just 6 people per class, and we are masking so that everybody's safe. But we know that you're itching to get out and do some things now that we've seen our COVID numbers drop quite a bit. We also are doing, we've got, let me think here. In April, we've got a ruler foot class coming up, so that's a free motion quilting class. In May, we're going to be doing a walking foot class. Our fabulous instructor, Kathy, is going to be doing that class. She did it a couple times last year, and it was really popular, so we thought we'd bring it back again. All the basics about how you can quilt with your walking foot and some of the things that you can do that maybe you didn't think you could. We also are planning an exciting event in May. We're going to be partnering with Sew Steady. If you're familiar with the Sew Steady extension tables and cabinet inserts, we are going to be doing a live Zoom class with Sew Steady and the Westerly ruler foot quilting. So they'll be demonstrating ruler feet and templates and how you can use those. It is a free class, so we'll get some information about that posted in our newsletter and on our website, so watch for that coming up. We're also planning a little later on in the year, we're going to be doing another Kimberbell embroidery event, so we'll have information about that coming up. So things are starting to happen, ladies. You can get back to your sewing, mingle with your friends a little bit. We'll do that safely, but we're real excited to have you all back again. If there's anything that we can answer questions about for you with anything that you've seen today or in our past videos, please give us a call or pop in. We're always happy to help you out. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you again Same bat time, same bat channel next week, Thursday at 10:30.